If I teach you a way where you can manage your chemistry the way you want, but we need 32 hours of focused time, do you think your life is valuable enough for that much investment, I'm asking? The more educated people become, the more affluent people become, they cannot wait. One who does not think much of himself can simply wait. If you understand the proportion of who you are in this existence, you would know there was no other way than to wait. Every human being wants his life enhanced. If you don't show them proper ways to enhance, they will find shortcuts. See, a man who goes to the bar and a man who goes to a church or a temple or whatever, they're seeking the same thing, they're trying to enhance their life, isn't it? If you do not show them a proper way, they will take whatever ways are available on the streets, that's all. That's why I'm saying it's not a moral issue for me. It is just that it sets you backward. You want to go forward, but it sets you backward. For the first time, a huge, massive number of people are thinking for themselves. Well, you can debate always whether they're thinking right or wrong, all that thing, but at least they're thinking. When I say thinking, what happens to thought process is, say if two people get into an argument, both the people think the other person is illogical. That means in their mind, there is a certain logical pattern. However illogical somebody may seem to you, in his mind he has his own logical pattern. Once this pattern sets up that there needs to be some logic for you to come to a conclusion of about anything, then many fanciful things that you believe, like your journey to heaven and what is up there and all these things, they start collapsing. Still they don't dare to say that because there is still fear. But in their minds, the aspiration of going to heaven is largely collapsed. So when heavens collapse, what will human beings do? They will try to find it here, which is a very good thing. But if you don't show them any way to find a heaven within themselves, that is when at least 80 to 85% of the population today is on alcohol or some kind of drug happening simply because they are trying to build their own little heaven. Because the other heaven that was promised for a long time has collapsed in their minds. We have come to a place where to grow our food, we need chemicals. To be healthful, we need chemicals. Today 70% of the population is on prescription medication of some sort. To be peaceful, we need chemicals. To be joyful, we need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course you have ecstasy. So we are going towards chemicals in a huge way. The water that you drink is full of chemicals, the air that you breathe is like that, and the food that you eat is like that. So if 90% of humanity goes into chemical consumption, consciously or unconsciously, if they consume a lot of it, the next generation that we produce will be of a lesser quality than who we are. That's a crime against humanity. Today we are coming to a place where we could be producing a next generation which is less than us. Once that happens, we have done something very negative against the fundamental life process. So intoxication is just that, it is taking away your faculties for a period of time, but if you continuously do it, it'll take it away for your life. So you're taking away or subjugating your faculties for a little bit of pleasure or maybe a lot of pleasure, however you wish to describe it. But the important thing is you're taking a backward step with life because life can only be enhanced by sharpening and increasing our faculties, not by decreasing our faculties. Our ability to be active physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if this is in any way crippled, this means we are taking a backward step, though there may be pleasure attached to it. So I'm teaching them a way. If you sit here with your eyes closed every day, I'm very proud of this now, there are millions of people, in the morning if they sit with their eyes closed for a few minutes, tears of ecstasy will flow, millions of people across the world. The greatest chemical factory, the most sophisticated chemical factory is right here. The question is only, are you a great CEO or a lousy CEO? If you're a great manager, you will produce what you want from this. If you're a lousy manager, you do wrong things, you get anxiety, you get something else, you get rubbish going on within you because you are misusing your chemical factory or you don't know how to manage your chemical factory. What you think as myself is just a psychological boundary that you have set up. So yoga means consciously obliterating the boundaries of your individuality. So if you sit here, if you experience everything around you as myself, this is yoga. Anything that you feel is a part of yourself, with that you don't need any values, ethics, morals, nothing, because it's a part of you. This is what yoga means. You experience everything as a part of you. When somebody experiences the whole universe as a part of himself, then we say he is a yogi. So one important aspect of why there is a physical dimension to yoga is, it is the science of aligning your geometry, your individual geometry with the cosmic geometry. When geometry is congruent with something larger, it becomes like that, it functions like that, it makes you experience yourself like that. So in that sense, you're trying to reorganize your geometry so that it's congruent to the larger or cosmic geometry. There is something happening in nature between 3:30 to 3:40. It's called Brahma Muhurtam in yoga, it's a very significant part of the time. So when that happens, your body just comes awake. It happens to everybody, but they don't notice it. So like this, many changes happen simply because simple yoga. So that's why I'm constantly reminding people, it doesn't matter for what reason you do the right things. Even for wrong reasons, if you do the right things will happen to you. All human experience is generated from within. What comes from within you must be the way you want it, isn't it? Isn't that simple enough, I'm asking? What comes from around you may not be the way you want it, but what comes from within you must be the way you want it. If whatever happens within you the way you want it, will you be blissed out or miserable? You see, most people understand complexity as intelligence. If they make themselves difficult, they are supposed to be intelligent. Making a simple thing difficult is not intelligence. Making a very complex thing simple is intelligence, isn't it? So wrong sense of intelligence, idea of intelligence has entered people's minds. They think if they make a problem out of every solution, they're intelligent. No, no. If you find solutions for every problem, that is intelligence. That's my understanding. If I ask you, is your life worthwhile enough to invest 30 to 32 hours of focused time to bring some basic transformation within you? If I teach you a way where you can manage your chemistry the way you want, but we need 32 hours of focused time, do you think your life is valuable enough for that much investment, I'm asking? Then you must invest, that's what is called in an engineering program. It's 32 hours of focused time. We can format it in different ways, but that much investment has to go in. They want a commandment. We are talking about consciousness. Commandments won't fly. Commandments means you're trying to fix your life. Consciousness means you want to liberate your life. My intention is you must liberate your life. People come and say, Sadhguru, please teach us how to control my mind. Say, you want your mind controlled or liberated? Oh, yes, liberated, but how to control? Because they think that intelligence is a serious problem, and it's been in their lives. So your problem is just this, you have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough platform, and that's why yoga. To create a stable platform so that your intelligence works for you. Right now, you may call it so many things, so many exotic names have come up. Stress, tension, anxiety, depression, madness, all kinds of things. All this essentially what it means is, your intelligence has turned against you, that's all. If your intelligence was working for you, would you create blissfulness or misery? Why your intelligence has turned against you? There's no stable enough base. So the entire yogic system is about this, that you create a stable base so that your intelligence works for you. If your intelligence turns against you, no power in the universe is going to save you, you are a done thing. Every possibility, if you do not harness it, it becomes a problem. So the same goes for your cerebral capability. If you do not harness it, it's a serious problem. It's taking away 80% of the human beings are simply suffering. They don't need any outside help. They're on self-help.
With reference to the existence, are you capable of doing anything else except waiting? That's all you can do. At least do it joyfully. So waiting is not about time, waiting is a certain quality. It's a certain way of being, and that is only possible when you understand your proportion in the existence. If you have funny ideas in your head, you cannot wait. You have exaggerated sense of who you are, you cannot wait. If you think you're a king, you cannot wait. When you see the reality of who you are in this existence, only then you can wait. Waiting comes because you have perceived the reality the way it is. You're unable to wait because your mind is full of fancifulness. Perception will naturally lead to waiting.